comparing Profuse to Decovil Heavy and Light. First of all, I just want to say that I have never used Profuse previously. This is my first time purchasing it. It's the end of March 2025, and I just purchased 5 yards from Wawak. It does come in a 10-yard bundle, but I decided to just get 5 yards because I didn't want to take the chance that it wasn't going to work. It was either $32.95 or $34.95. So here I have some scraps. I have some Decovil Heavy and some Decovil Light. And I do apologize for the shadows on my table. I'm using a projector for cutting and it threw a lot of shadows, but I didn't want to redo the video. So when it comes to applying the Profuse compared to the Decovil, I do want to make it really clear that when I typically use Decovil, I use a basting spray. I do an extra step that is not part of the normal instructions for Decovil. So I use a quilting or basting spray. I put it on the back or the shiny side, the adhesive side of the Decovil, and that helps the corners not to lift up. And it really helps the Decovil stay in place when I'm turning my bags. So I do want to be very clear about that I do use that extra step typically. On the Profuse, I didn't use that extra step. So what I did, if you look at the top of this video, you can see that I have Decovil Light on the left, Decovil Heavy on the right, and on the Decovil Light, I used an adhesive spray. On the Decovil Heavy, I didn't because I wanted to show you what I'm talking about with the Decovil Heavy. If I just use the instructions as is, the corners will pull up on me if I don't use that extra step by adding a basting spray before I iron. Now for the Profuse, the instructions say to peel off the back, which here you can see that I had a hard time doing that. I ended up using my Cricut tool, and that helped a lot. But the instructions for the Profuse is to use a damp cloth on top and you iron for 8 seconds. So all of these 3 steps with the Decovil Light, the Decovil Heavy, and the Profuse, I use the instructions as is, except for, like I said, that little extra step by using the basting spray on the Decovil Light. So the Profuse, after I took it over to the iron, it actually did adhere beautifully. So I don't show the ironing step, but I'm going to show you what it looks like in comparison to the others. So the Decovil Light, you can see that I can bend that, no lifting at all. That has the basting spray on the back. The Decovil Heavy, you can see that it does lift up. Now I didn't use the spray on this, so keep that in mind. And then on the Profuse, no lifting at all. It adhered beautifully per instructions. Now I will say that if you're looking for a pattern and it's asking for Decovil Light, the Profuse is right in between, in my opinion, the Decovil Light and the Decovil Heavy. So keep that in mind when you're turning bags or a pattern is asking for light versus heavy. The Profuse seems to be right in between those two. I also wanted to do a quick demonstration on the color, although it doesn't make a difference. I just wanted to show you that the Profuse is right in between the Decovil Heavy and the Decovil Light. Again, not that that makes a difference, but just to show you what it looks like. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please post below.